Ready?
Yeah.
Start with pledge allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Joe? Dale?
Here.
Larry? Jackie?
Here.
Marlene, everybody's present. Any additions to the agenda? Now looking for a motion to approve it.
I'll make that motion.
Joe made that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Dale seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Any corrections to last month?
I just have a question, under, the chemical spill. Oh no, it'd be actually under the trees hanging over the roadway. It says on here that if the tree base is in the resident's property, but it is hanging over the township road right of way, then the township will remove the tree, but does inform the resident they'd like to cut the tree back. I think they will not remove the tree, right? But would ask, if the base of the tree is in the residence, they're not gonna remove it, but they'll ask to cut it back. So it should say will not remove.
Unless you get permission.
Right.
What it is all we can do is legally cut to the right of way.
Yes,
If the resident wants the tree removed, we can remove the entire tree,
yes,
but, yeah.
right, but I think it should say will not remove the tree.
Right.
Yeah.
I also had one correction to last month's minutes under item G of something.
They were long.
Chemical spill?
Yeah.
They were long.
So the third paragraph, Supervisor Carson's asked about water runoff in this area. That's actually related to item H.
Okay. Well, put that up into the H area.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Looking for a motion to approve the amended, minutes from last month.
I'll make that motion.
Arnie's made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Larry seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Judge report.
All right, at our last meeting, our reported balance at the last meeting was $168,500.97. We earned a dividend of $79.77. Checks at our last meeting totaled $19,361.53. Electronic transfers totaled $122.85. We've had one deposit for $23.7928 for a balance tonight of $151,475.64. The deposit was from from the Tata County Auditor for PILT, payment in lieu of taxes. Reconciliation, the checking account bank statement balance read $168,474.67. Checks that had not cleared are $19,378.31. One deposit hasn't cleared, $2,379.28, for a balance there of $151,475.64. Money market account showed $55,123.97. We earned an interest of $46.58 for a balance of $55,170.55. The bank statement share account remains at $36.09. Total monies in the township is $206,682.28.
Any questions on the treasury report? I'm looking for a motion to approve it.
I'll make that motion.
Arnie's made that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Joe seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Bill?
I heard.
There you go. Hopefully, you get that too.
No. Okay. My phone number. Yeah, let's kind of check in. Not sure.
Read it.
There's some, no, there's agendas up on that table.
That's kind of one.
Yeah. Minutes.
Wait on each.
No, you've got the agenda, he's got 2 minutes.
Yeah, we ran out, so.
Yeah.
She's gonna press some more agenda.
The regular one or just the regular shoulder mold, the other, person that did that, we didn't do close to the tire. So we moved first once again in June and then now. Well, the county there, that gets pretty much county.
Did anyone else need an agenda?
Getting it mowed before the time. Thank you. A lot of us, we've been doing that, county does do. You got a reason for it. Not that price still really for them to. Long as they really, yeah.
See.
Yeah, I know.
Was that October?
I was ready, I ordered more.
I actually extended the date because, Attorney Gilchrist only got me the letter last week, so I put the date to September. Okay, then, in the frame, yeah.
I don't think there's any more agenda.
Here, do you want an agenda?
I think I had.
I have it too.
Sure. No, I'll make Steve, because he can't read anyway, so he's trying to look at the picture. One here, I have two. Steve's trying to look at the pictures.
Second for a motion, to approve the bills.
I'll make that motion.
Dale made a motion, we got a second.
I'll second.
Larry seconded, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Resident comments?
Yeah, this is Randy Wilhite, and, as normal, I've got questions about the, Ellicott situation. I guess that's gonna be covered a little bit later in the meeting as far as where we're at detail wise. I've heard, we've had an engineer look at the situation and so forth. I've also seen the results of Anderson Brothers' work on County Road 15. And I put a word in that I think we should look at having them bid on this also. The question that popped in my head though, as I was reading through the minutes here, and it's talking about the snow plowing quotes and so forth. In here, it indicates that we specifically went out to 2 different businesses rather than just advertising the opening of bids. Why those 2 businesses were selected, I don't know. But I'd like to know what the rationale was to do that as opposed to just having an open bid. The other part of the open bid process is that those things should be listed in the local newspapers, and I believe both the Long Prairie Leader and the Stock Center Herald are the 2 newspapers. I'm not finding it out there. So, I haven't reached out to them to ask specifically about the ones that would come from this township, but they should be there and they should be easy to find because they usually list them all in the same area. So has there been any issue in terms of being able to get that information to them?
Did you want to answer, Joe, or do you want me to explain the bid level, the threshold? We're talking about finding the money.
So, the Ellicott Drive project is over $175,000, which we have to do an open bidding process. We're working with the engineer to administer that for us. We don't really get to select who does the bidding. It's an open bid, so whichever contractor chooses to throw in the bid. But because of the process, we need to go with the lowest bid per statute.
So the.
Well, excuse me, that is not per statute, okay? And if it is, you tell me which one it is, because I can tell you just about any government body that has bids, it's not specifically the one that has the lowest bid. It's the one that's best for that agency. And they look at it from a cost standpoint.
It's Minnesota statute 471.345, Uniform Municipal Contracting Law.
471, what?
471.345, subdivision 3A, contracts over $175,000, best value alternative.
Well, you're talking about the over the 175 one, which is the one that has to go out to be advertised, correct?
Yes.
I'm talking about the issue of whether or not a low bid has to be accepted. Has to be the one awarded.
If you read it here, it does specify subdivision 3, contracts over $175,000.
Needs to be advertised.
Mhm.
Correct.
And that's not my issue. My issue is if you have to take the lowest bid.
So there is an alternative that you can choose to go with, not the lowest bid, but it opens up for legal recourse. We would have to defend it, but the process, we're not even close to that yet. So,
Okay. And I'm not challenging you on that.
sure.
But one, I want the board to understand that you do not, by law, have to take the lowest bid. Now, is it open to any kind of legal challenge? Anything is open to a legal challenge.
To answer his question on the snow plowing,
Yeah, so because the snow plowing and like the quotes that we do throughout the year for the township are not over that threshold,
Mhm.
so we aren't required to put it in the newspaper every time. What we do is we send it out to contractors that we might identify. We'll put it on our website, we'll post it, but we don't have to do the whole newspaper process. That's only for these bids that are over 175,000. So Whitseth Engineering is going to do all that for us, and they'll take care of posting it in the newspapers, the ones we identify. And they'll also take care of, getting the word out. Now, if we know Anderson's out there, yes, definitely, we want them to bid it, for sure.
Yeah.
I know for low bid selection, like Joe said, the board could go to choose not the lowest bidder, but then they have to have a very, very solid reason for not choosing the lowest bidder. So Whitseth will also assist the board with that process too.
And who is this you're referring to, Seth Wong?
Whitseth Engineering, and they're out of Alexandria.
So that was the firm that you contacted relative to Alcott?
To Alcott.
Okay.
Yep, and so they were recommended by Todd County. Todd County uses them.
And that's fine.
for their-
And I don't have an issue at all with the Alcott thing at all, so that's what's happening with that. I know it's a very expensive project, I know there's a lot of issues involved with it, so I don't have an issue there at all. I just wanna make sure though, that when I see someone like Anderson Brothers come out here and do what they did with 15, and what they've done over by Grey Cloud and all the rest of it, I mean Gray Eagle, that's great work. And since they did it for the county, I'm gonna guess that the price wasn't over the top. Maybe it was, I haven't checked with them yet. But anyway, just from a quality standpoint, I wanna make sure that we at least consider it.
Get them in there.
Yeah.
And
So,
Todd
but
County
you
chose
have
them.
explained to me though about the advertising in the paper as far as listing it, because I do check that from time to time, thinking, oh, we're soliciting bids. We should be seeing something out there for bids. Well,
we don't do it very often, we probably haven't done it in how many years?
The last time would have been Angler Drive, when we reclaimed Angler.
It may be a once in every 2 or 3 year project.
Well, that's probably why I haven't seen it then.
No.
Okay.
But Joe might be able to give us a timeline tonight of when we might go to bidding process,
I
or no?
haven't received an update yet from this.
Okay, and that's fine. Again, I'm not trying to challenge the Alcott Drive thing at all. Like I said, I know there's a lot to it. But I was just trying to get in my own head, what do I see, what don't I see, what should I see, what shouldn't I see? Because
Right.
the other thing that hasn't approved, just to give you some feedback, the fact that we now have agendas out on the website, great, that's excellent. I can go through and I can see whether or not I should be attending a meeting or not. So I do appreciate that. And I just have one other minor thing, but it did bother me. I'm disabled. And I should have been able to have the time to stand, turn, take my hat down for the Pledge of Allegiance. That was not afforded to me. It was done well before I had a chance to do that. So just a heads up on that from a disabled standpoint, I would prefer to have that opportunity to stand and give my pledge.
Take that into consideration, thank you.
Yep.
Moving on. Township road report,
Okay, last time we brought up the trees on the Amlin trailer, and I had a bid from John Huffman, I guess we just kind of tabled it for a while. We'll still like to get that done fairly soon, because they're bending down pretty good. Okay, Angler Trail, Jackie, I think, called me up one day, or she had a person up there pretty close for you and I, Jim, looked way down there, but at the end of the Angler Trail, there's Hunter's Bay there.
yep,
Yeah, I don't know the person's name, but he was washing out on the road on both sides. And so,
Dennis Walpole.
it was before that, a new house that was just being built.
Okay.
So I had Herb out there, and I got out there, so he reshaped the road, and we put ground up asphalt on the road, and redid the ditches down there, and dug out that little retention pond down there.
Yep.
And we dug that up. Looks good. Yeah.
Has it been holding with the rain we've gotten?
Yeah,
I think so.
Dale and I went out there today, and
Looks good.
looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then on Ameling there's no stop sign or yield sign coming down that hill, right over there, like, your shed back there, coming downhill, so Dale and I went and looked at, we're thinking putting a yield sign, kind of,
There should be something.
something there, because they come down a hill and there's nothing there, so.
Okay.
I can sit there and get a sign or something, put it up.
So we just do it on consensus, or we need a motion to get that taken care of?
So basically, also, are you looking for action on Amber Trail with the trees?
Yeah.
You wanna go out with getting a.
We got it.
I got a bid
You
already,
already did, okay,
it was 6,000,
okay.
roughly.
So definitely if the board is going to
Spend money, we got
want that action, you're gonna wanna do it on motion on that separate.
I'll make a motion to sit there and go for the Ameling Trail and get those trees out of there.
I'll second.
I have a question. I know we gotta keep going on this stuff. We've got some stuff going on, getting, money for the contract we signed and stuff. We got something going on that.
For the project,
Well, we assigned a contract with somebody, so have we started the process of generating funds, or we gotta,
what I did was I reached out to Attorney Gilchrist for the township. He referred me back to the firm that he was with originally, out of St. Cloud in Minneapolis. I talked to her and she said, if your project is at 1.3 million, which was kind of the estimate, she said we would need to work with a municipal advisor. And she gave me 3 different firms. I was gonna talk about this in the later
and
on.
the only reason I'm bringing this up right now is, do we have enough funds to keep spending?
I knew that's where you were going.
So
Yeah,
that's my only
because-
question. Are we okay?
We're gonna need to borrow for Alcott.
Understand, I
Yeah.
understand 100%. I'm just wondering if what we've already committed to, do we have enough funds to cover those costs?
Well, it all depends how many people from, Amblin Trail pay up front, because right now we have footed that bill, right?
Okay.
So, and they believe they've got until September 20th, to pay their portion of it. We will be getting a substantial amount of money in October, but we're at the end of August, so we've got a little time yet before that money is
Well, my
coming
opinion,
in.
we just can't sit there and stop doing everything in the township just because we've got road project, we got enough money. I
Well,
mean, the things that we've done,
we have enough money?
That's all, I am 100% on board, we
Yeah.
gotta keep rolling, but I just want, are we gonna be okay? That's just my only concern. And we got funds coming, yeah, we can,
we've got
it would be a month
200,000
before we
right
get,
now.
if they go out and do this, it'd be a month before we get a bill anyway, so I mean, I get some of that, but
Yeah.
we've addressed this a little bit.
I think we should, I mean, we talked about this last month at quite length, and I completely agree with you on, just because we chose to spend $60,000 on the current project, which I'm not saying we should do it, doesn't mean all the rest of the work in the township should have to be put on hold, the work that needs to get done. I think what we need is to prioritize the work that needs to be done with the funds that we have. And when we get funds in, have some sort of roadmap, just because every month we're gonna have something come in that, well, we need to address it, and we're gonna be talking in the same circle. But that's just my 2 cents.
I reached out to Deja, I left you a message on the culvert by the bunny trail there. Yeah, and she said we should just not do anything on that because she is working with the new homeowner and resolving that.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, like 10 grand or something.
So we have a motion on the floor from Arnie and second from Joe to spend the $6,000 into the street stuff. That where we're at?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And then for the third one would be the yield sign. I believe, Dale, would you just go to the county and purchase
Sure.
the yield sign?
That's what we agreed
That would
with,
be consensus.
yield sign.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd make a motion.
What do you think, Gary?
okay.
I always thought there was one there, to be honest. I always thought there was one there before. There should be one there.
Should be one there. Yeah.
Should it be a yield or a stop?
Yeah, yield.
I would call that a yield.
Because I think yield sign's got more power than a stop sign. Nobody stops for stop sign anyway.
Yeah, right.
I can do that.
So
I'll
make,
make that
make a
motion.
motion.
Yes,
So you're making a motion to purchase the sign and,
the yield
a
sign.
yield sign? Do I have a second? Arnie seconded, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
How much are yield signs? Economical.
Gary, that's what.
Jim, just have a question. Has there been a notice sent out for requesting or telling people that it's, there has been a
Yes, a
notice?
letter just went out, but it only just recently went out.
Okay,
because
because we
we're-
did not receive
You
it.
didn't get it yet, okay, if you don't receive it, and I would have sent it, do you live at a different address than the,
We gave it to you last month.
okay, got it, okay. Tell me your name again?
Gary Kenyon.
Gary, oh yeah, Gary, I did send yours
Okay.
to the Melrose.
Right.
Yeah, yep, your
But
son,
we still
you didn't
didn't.
get it?
I didn't
Okay.
get mine either.
Oh, you didn't? So give it another day or two, you'll probably get it. We were waiting to have the attorney draft the letter, and he would not get back to me on drafting it, and I wanted him to write it versus me. So that's why it took a while from the last meeting. So you will receive it.
Item B.
All in the loop, so spent quite a bit of time, Larry and I were out there again today. Couple things, Larry helped me out with this, but, we were out there last week and, met with Adam. We looked at the intake where the water goes into, we went down along the lake and we found the outlets, I guess.
Culvert all the way down. All the way.
My biggest concern was, if they put this in, where is it drained to? Is it washing out? All of a sudden we take this road over and then all of a sudden, it's like, well, there's big washouts down below. Well, we found the outlets, and I have to say, and I think Larry will agree with me, they look good. I mean, they're close to the lake. The only thing that I seen was one had animal control on it and the other one didn't. Well, I don't know if it's a big deal in how many years, and I don't know, maybe the one with the non-animal thing is built up, but the water must be draining. So I mean, that was one thing we checked out. We met with Lauren. He was out there when this first got built. He went through his checklist. He was okay with everything there.
where the intake's good too?
Yeah.
They look like storm sewers.
Right, so when they put that in there, they put in a whole bunch of field rock under the ground before the exit, so they look like a drain field out there, and what, this side of the exits. So they're just not going from that to that, it's going into a drain rock tile before it exits out into the lake.
Well, there's some rock down there. There's a big wide cement, where it drains out, and then there's some rock down there.
I thought I'm almost sure they had it before that, even before that, I thought it was like, they put in like a drain field. Is that right?
And then another pipe out there.
To exit out of that, what I have in my head, but, could be wrong. But, I mean, as long as it's going, and that, I would think,
Well,
they'll help filter it.
I
Because it's not a
assume,
direct drain into the lake, I thought it was
No.
filtered.
No, there's a rock, like rapids arches, whatever you wanna call it.
Right.
Yeah, and I would say it probably ends 23 feet away from the lake, and on some
Yeah.
of the rocks that slow it down.
Okay. No, I was gonna bring that up about that anyway, so we got to.
Do those go through private property?
one is,
Yeah, they go through the lots, yes.
One of them's mine. It runs right along the power line. The culvert is at the property stake marker, almost.
It's the few properties around here, you said.
It's really close. It's in mine or the neighbors. It might be on mine. I've seen it. I could have showed you guys. But yeah, it's right there on the property line.
okay.
Your concern is that it has to be taken care of later on, Joe.
Well,
It should be in the ditch right away, yeah, because they're.
Well, it goes from the ditch.
Oh,
down
under
the
the
lake.
lake, right, yeah.
The manhole up by the lake, up on the road, sorry, is on my property, I think.
Yeah.
And it goes straight down the ravine where you guys drove, and it's right behind the White Snake.
I mean, we looked at it.
One on each
I
side.
think it's
Well,
all right. That was my biggest concern. I mean, not that the water's going in and washing everything out down there and we take this road over. Then all of a sudden, we're in a lawsuit. Well, you guys need to fix this. But I mean, it's been there for 20 plus years. It seems to be working. So I guess I'm okay with that part. The only thing is, one's got an animal protector over it, the other one doesn't. I don't know if it's
I
a
don't know
big
what the
thing.
other one is, I'm trying to think, I think the one that's on my property line has an animal protector over it. Where's the other culvert come out, just curious?
Comes down under trees. And trees, by the way.
There's all kinds of trees.
I was just curious, because there's one on between, 23, 22.
So that's the one the one we found to the south is right
I saw
on
the-
the property, right?
Yep, I saw the photo
That's
of
the
that.
one right there, that's one that's the animal guard on, one to the north doesn't.
So the one to the north would not be on mine then?
That's all open lot right now.
Yeah, right, yeah. And so the one, I've been down to the one that is on my property, or not mine, but it's mine. And he has an animal garden.
You lot, what, 20, 21, something like that?
23, 24.
23, 24? Okay, you're over here, then the other one, yeah, so.
Okay, yeah, to the left.
Well, I mean, I hate to slow things up, but a couple of things, I kind of think we met with Lauren. I think we could use a fresh lift of gravel. I mean, it's been sitting there for how many years? Lauren's like, well, I think it's okay, but I feel if we take this over, I'd like to see a fresh lift of gravel. I mean, I'm okay with an inch. I think something like that could be done.
And I drove it and I'd have to agree. I drove it, I'd have to agree too.
But it's pretty nice now that it's widened and all the
Yeah.
potholes.
It looks really nice, but that would be my suggestion.
Warren said that according to the county standards, they have to have 2 inches of gravel on there, 2 inches. And we dug down 4 inches. And it's there.
That's not the stuff on top, they'll kind of palm it out on it.
Well, that's my concern, and I addressed this to Lauren. All these dead weeds and whatever that got dragged in, are they going to create a problem down the road? He said, well, maybe not.
He said that he thought that it was fine the way it was, and he said as far as roads getting taken over by the county or by the townships, he said this was the best one he'd seen in 20 years.
No.
That I didn't need it.
Did you?
It doesn't get a lot of use.
Or did you get a kind of a price of what that would cost to gravel that?
You said it was about 6/10?
Yep.
And for about a 2-inch would be 450 yards. And if we run it at the township price, that would be around $5,000. And if we do a, 1-inch, it'd be less.
You'd say 20?
How much did you say?
Five. 5,000.
So you guys, get everybody all chip in together?
We can try.
Go ahead, Dale. You can.
Another concern I have is spotted knapweed on this road. It's really, really bad. I reached out to Brian at Central Applicators and talked to him about this, and he recommends this get sprayed in the fall and you get your best control on it. He'd like to come out and take a look at it before he quotes a price on it, because you know how it is, I can tell him how it is, he visualizes it, but it may be different than what he thinks, so,
What does that mean? What is that?
it's a
It's invasive weed.
What's the name of it?
spotted knapweed.
So what does that have to do with the road?
What's that?
What does that have to do with the actual road?
Well, it doesn't have nothing to do with the road, but the road ditches, and
Okay.
it leaves like acidity in the soil. So, I mean, mowing it does nothing.
Right.
It needs to be sprayed. It leaves an acidity in the soil, so other like grasses or stuff will not grow.
So is that the shit that Raleigh mowed down?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't know if that halfway did.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. We get it.
And I did, like I said, I talked to Brian, and he'd like to come out and take a look at it before he complete or gives the price on it. So that's kind of where it's sitting now.
So we're looking at what, $8,000 more to have you guys take over? Just ballpark. By the time you put on
And then-
$5,000 dirt and then bigger $3,000.
Well, I think Bert was talking 2 inches, I'd be okay, I don't know, are you okay with an inch? I mean, I'd like to be a fresh lift on it, I don't know what the rest of the board thinks, but I think, I'd like to see a fresh lift on this road.
Well, when they tar 99, maybe we just convince them to tar blue.
There you go.
Commence to take it over. Joe, your thoughts? I think, one of the things that we're gonna be doing next year is applying dust control to this road because it's a township road. And having fresh lift of gravel in it would be very helpful for that to set up and bind to the clay that's in it. So I think something more than what's there just to work with, an inch sounds about right to me, just to mix in and work up with it that's there and applying better to the chloride that goes down next year.
So you dust control or move?
Yeah, really? You'll have to take a 99.
I was like, well, I didn't expect that.
That's part of the
We
service.
do all the township roads.
Okay, yeah,
Larry, your thoughts?
I don't know, I guess I kind of go back and forth because, talking to Warren, he said he doesn't think you need to do it. That it's fine the way it is. I mean, I'll throw that out, and I'll go with that as my stance, but, I'll go with what the board says too. I mean, speaking of dust control, I'll let you talk about 99.
Well, I don't know where this came into play, alter and loop dust control, but it wasn't, I didn't hear of anything till right now.
I didn't either.
yeah, and that's not, but I just want it to be the potholes that we're making the road for and not have to worry about plowing snow and then, I mean, I'm not asking for the road, I know that. I just want a decent road that my kids can bike right on and not fall.
And,
Arnie, your thoughts?
yeah, with that, put a little inch or 2 inches on that road, like Preston said, that dust control does really.
So what are you thinking, are you thinking we need to dust control this or not?
Not this year.
I mean, but after we put the gravel on?
No, I won't dust
Okay.
control this year. I'll put it on there, it's gonna be probably a month or so.
No, we don't need dust control, like, so whoever you talked to said you don't need any dirt on the road at all. Is that a county guy?
Yeah.
Does the board have any thoughts on helping on the cost on some of that, or do we want to take care, our normal plan is to have it up to county specs. If you go with Larry, now, I'm just saying, the county guy said it was good. I believe, just looking at it, I would like to see something out of it too, but then if we're asking for more than county specs, then.
We need a reason why.
Right.
Yeah.
How many people live there?
We already went through this at the last meeting, we had over 60, this was the first issue that we had, we have over 60% of lots sold, I think that was the first thing we had, is we each own 2.
5 out of 24.
Yeah. So that was the first.
5 or 6.
So we can leave that within that. We're
Yeah.
pretty
We
confident
matched a
in
few
that.
things,
So,
so we wanna just make sure that we don't have to come back every month.
Yeah.
To keep trying to match something new, especially when the county guy says the road's good.
it looks good, so I'm just, how do we want to go forward?
I got one more thing. I drove the road, there's 4 plastic culverts. And Larry made a good comment. Now, Birchdale has a policy, no steel or no plastic culverts. Larry said, oh, maybe we should just grandfather it in because, I mean, you got a good driveway and I hate to tell you, you need to tear it up. And
Right. Well, he
Yeah.
texted me after the last meeting, I'm like, I'm wondering, but honestly, a half-inch of
Yeah.
plastic, is that better than an 1/8 inch?
Well, I guess Larry and I talked about it in our thoughts and maybe the board's different, but maybe we should just grandfather it in. And if ever down the road, which none of us will probably ever see it, but if it needs to be upgraded at that time, it'll probably have to look the steel.
Or if somebody puts a new driveway.
I didn't want that, Mike. I didn't want that.
And
So I guess, thoughts? I mean, they've gone through some expense getting to this, and we have a standard.
Like I said, we'll take you guys and round up.
Well, are we talking the weeds and the
No.
road, or just the weeds, or just the
I
road?
would say just the road.
I mean, I'm not,
The weeds and the road, do we wanna spend another $3,000 for that to do it? I mean, if we do it for them, then we set a precedence and we do it for everybody.
Okay, the policy is we take the road over, it has to be up to county specs. It doesn't say anything about the weeds in the ditch.
Well, I talked to Lauren about that today extensively, and that is one thing I'd like to see in place or taken care of before the township takes the road. Last thing I wanna do is go out there and spray this road, and then we got no grass, and then the township can go out there and see grass and have that cost too.
Do you think that whatever they got to use for spray is gonna kill everything?
Brian from well, not kill everything, but they're more or less targeting the spot in that point. And I talked to him, what they'd use is a truck and shoot it off the side is what they recommend, but he wants to come out and take a look at it first.
So how far from the road edge, down into the ditch, are you thinking they're gonna spray?
Well, I think we should do the back slope too, because,
Well, that's fine, I mean, I don't care. I just.
Yeah, where you guys are, it's not that bad when you go up to the north part up on
Yeah.
the hill, it's terrible.
we're crossing lots, well, by 1 and 2, that whole,
Yeah.
there's nothing really bad over there.
So we want to wait till we get a price on that, or what are we
Sure.
thinking?
Well,
we've gotta keep kicking this can, hopefully we get this thing taken care of before snow comes.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but
So,
am I trying to raise funds for gravel and spray or just spray? Cause I mean, not to be, we mean, talk about expense, it's gonna be
Well, I'll see once
a
Brian
tough hill
said,
to push down the road.
if, somebody's out in the area, they'll take a look at it. I don't know, I'm just a farmer, just throwing the acres out there. I said 5 acres, I don't know how much
Right.
ditches are, I have no idea. So I just kind of threw that at him and it's like, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
hard to, measure that, but
Cause I have been in contact with Raleigh and kind of keeping them in the loop, trying to be like, hey, can you help us all out with? Cause a lot of, so far the grading, Dusty and I are gonna cover and you just try
what
to
did Raleigh say about that?
Oh, I mean, he's been a tough one to, I really don't care about this.
He's not paying that.
Yeah,
but yeah, when I talked to him, he said, I don't care what they do, if they want to get their road to standard and spend money on it, let them do it, but I'm not paying a dime.
Who's Raleigh, the developer?
Yeah.
Cause I called him before the meeting, I said, they stream on the internet, just, I want you to be informed, because I'm like, this just doesn't benefit me, it benefits you selling these lots quicker, because if you have a decent road, it's gonna make everyone, good. Well, at least it's maintained.
You're not convinced, I've dealt with them enough, you're not convincing them of anything.
Right.
But just so you understand why we're at this point, is this, people start these developments and then all of a sudden this gets passed on to different towns and different things. So we tried to be forward with this probably 10 years ago when we set our policies in place. So, and what Larry brought up, if we bend those rules, then we have to bend them for everybody. So you're asking good questions and we're trying to move forward, so.
One comment I could say is that before the next meeting, I could ask the attorney if that can actually be required to be passed on to the residents or not. Because I also should verify with them how the actual process is gonna work, the paperwork and everything of us taking on the road. Taking on all.
Don't you put assessment on all the lots that are unsold?
I have to find out how that works, already with the SSD, like we did for Amlin.
And then you can sit there and say, split it 20, how many lots are in 24?
I think 24.
Okay, just saying it, you can split it 24 and if 20 lots are sold, they would pay the township.
So if I'm clear on that, so let's say they assess all the lots or whatever, and then do the empty lots that he's still eligible, that go on his tax roll?
I don't know, I'd have to find out how that.
It
how we
should,
handle
but
it.
it should, but if it's not, if you're delinquent on any taxes, you're never gonna see it anyway.
So he delinquent, he's not gonna let that lots go. Anyway,
Well,
let's move forward.
quick thing, so at the next meeting, if I get a bid from Herdering for gravel grading and a bid from central applicators, I'll bring it to the next meeting and we can move forward from there.
So is that the last thing that we'll have to do in the road?
Yes.
Dale, I just have a question, clarification. If you get those bids, could you call Adam and let him know? So
Sure.
at least they know,
Sure.
like, what they would
ahead of time.
have to kind
Yeah.
of pull together.
I can do that.
Because then the next meeting, maybe could be done already.
Sticker shock and,
Yeah.
sure. Okay, you can move on.
You good?
Oh, yeah, just, Dale's just gonna be touched. Yep.
Yes.
For this little report?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Guys,
Thank you.
So we had one resident, it's been kind of a long season. We met with Nancy on one of the parcels, did not want to cooperate with us. So we did meet with Nancy and sent him a certified letter.
We sent 3 certified letters and he has not
And
picked them up.
I guess
They were
I
required to be-
texted him because I had his phone number, and I finally got a response from him. And I sent him another one, and he finally realized we weren't bluffing anymore. So he went out and mowed the thistles off, so we're good for this year.
Yeah, that's okay for now.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's kind of, I'm ready to take a nap.
Okay. Okay, Nancy Primus?
Talked with Joe about this. I called Tracy, our engineer, and talked to him. They got all footwork done out there, but they don't have footwork compiled yet. I'm kind of waiting to see what size culverts they recommend for the two underneath Tabbs's approach and what they're recommending underneath Alcott. He's hoping to get back to me on Thursday, Friday at the latest. I did kind of put a bug in his ear. I'd like to see a 30-inch culvert going underneath the road just because of the water. If we upsize the two on Tabbs, last thing I want to see is that water go past and go into Ron Smith's shit or garage. So supposed to be back to me in there too. I'd really like to have something put together by the next meeting. So I know it's getting late, it's September, but we need to do something there. I mean, I took Larry out there today, and last thing I want to do is nothing happens and Nancy builds this house, which she's in the process, and we had like 2 years ago where water runs across the road and goes past her new house, fresh soil, and washes this down into the lake. I don't want to see that. I want something done there.
Great.
So,
Part of the Alcott project a little bit anyway, right? Not very good.
Dale, did you say that Tracy from Witseth has done all the review on the road then? And
Well,
he's putting together the
yeah, it's
specifications?
compiling it, yes.
Okay, for the entire project?
Well,
Meaning, or
I'm
the
trying,
only-
I'm just talking to him about this
Oh, yeah,
culvert
the
stuff,
culvert
so
stuff,
we can move forward on that.
Okay.
Everybody good on that?
I think the only thing I mentioned this to Dale, the only concern I have is if we change anything on the south side of the road and open up more water moving underneath the road, that we should also consider what's happening on the north side of the road going down to the lake, because we're slowing water down and it's going across the road, but if we open it up and let that much more water go through, what's on the other side may not respond well to it.
So
So
you have to fill that with rock and stuff too.
there's already something there,
Right, but it may not be.
Right, so I just don't want us to lose sight of that, solve one problem and create another one. So,
I can't have water and somebody else. Okay, item A.
I can give an update on this. So Tracy came out right after our last meeting and went out, drove the road, marked on a map. I went through with him, each of the problem areas, which would be all of those we talked about, underneath the frost boil, culverts Bill's talking about, and the corner on the south end. He identified those and so started mapping those out as well, in addition to the frost boil. Understood that we did do ditch work on the south end already 2 years ago, but he was aware of the fact that obviously we want to do something this fall, not just for the culverts, but the frost boil. And
Is that by 110?
Yeah, south of the frost boil is by 110. The corner where we already did the ditch work is south of there. So he hasn't had any other questions for me. I know Dale's been in touch with him, but obviously we don't have anything formal in place yet as far as what the total proposal will be, but I would expect that in the coming months, either next month or at the latest October.
Okay, and then as I said, because I did reach out to the attorney's office and they now are referring me to a firm that would have a municipal advisor. I don't know how that works, but she said if the cost of the project is around 1.3, we would need to have that person assist us with getting bonding or borrowing the money. So,
Anybody know what the normal procedure or what, I guess there's no normal, how long a term do you take something like this out for? Is it a 10 years, 20 years?
It's variable, my understanding.
Charlie, do you remember what it was when we did, Almond Drive? I feel like it was 10 years.
That's what I'm gonna say, that
Yeah. I thought it was 10 years.
I'm still paying on it, I think, even if I did move.
What is our annual road budget? Again,
250?
275? Is that it there?
so we'd be looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 50% or better of our budget would be going to pay this back. That would come out of the same fund. Am I looking at that correctly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Quick question, if that's okay. You were saying that you were looking for a proposal. I'm not sure, are you looking for something that says, here's what the requirements should be? You know, to assess what we need to do with this road? Is that what you're talking about for a proposal?
So we, last month, signed a letter of engagement with Woodset, but they have not finalized the project proposals, the scope of work for the project, what it needs, the scope of what it needs, and what the costs are associated with it, as well as the timeline. That they haven't, they had a draft for us to review, but given new information of how we wanted to tackle the project, they had to revise it. And so that's what we're looking for.
So the step after that would you still be looking at opening it up then to contractors or vendors to come in and tackle it?
So the step after that would be secure bonding to pay for the project, and then follow the very prescribed path, or step-by-step process that they lay out in the plan for us, which would include later on down the stream, sometime, there's a certain number of days it has to be posted, but sometime early next spring for opening up the bids.
Right.
Anything else? Not at the moment. Item B.
Item B, government, we're in this one. So I did receive correspondence back from Doug Tom. I just had asked the question, because I was asked, what are the rights of way for these two roads? I didn't know. So I asked Doug Tom, and he got back to me after last month's meeting and did inform me that it's the recorded history, and we talked about, I'd like to bring this up too, about you take over any township roads, the importance of recording those roads with the county. These two roads, the recorded history was somewhat vague, but all that to say, the closest we could get was that the rights of way are both 33 feet from the center of the road for both of those roads. So that's the update.
I'm wondering that for,
I was asked by a resident what the right of way for those roads are. So this was given an update last month and didn't have an answer.
okay. Any other questions on that?
I have since communicated that to the residents.
Okay. They're good?
Haven't heard anything back.
Okay. Anything else? Item C.
Already can input too, but I did talk to Jay Heinze from CHS. He said they excavated 50 yards of material out of there, hauled it to Howick. They replaced the dirt and reseeded it. They fixed the rut, which Arnie can elaborate on also in the ditch. Elgin Excavating did this project.
Elgin, actually, I talked to Darrell, or Darren, and he said I went out there that same day, and he got the signs out there, and he took the backhoe and pushed it. He brought it all the way down there and leveled it off, and that was all just from, anyway, they seeded it all down, put a natural stop.
I mean, it looks good. I drove by there tonight, grass is coming up and everything, so,
Yeah, they did a nice job.
yeah. So I think we can take that one off from right, that's fine.
We didn't ask for it to be on that list.
Well,
Are we good?
yes.
Item D.
Okay, so earlier I kind of mentioned this, but, so Attorney Gilchrist assisted me with drafting the service subordinate district letters. to send out to our residents along Ambling Trail. And what the letter basically says is that residents can prepay their assessment by September 20th. The amount for each resident is $3,735.29. If they don't prepay it, then it'll be added just to the property taxes for the resident over a 10-year period with 6% interest. So in the letter, it gives my address to send it made out to Birchdale Township for the assessment. And I know, Gary, you had a question last month, and I didn't get an answer from Attorney Gilchrist. And again, until just recently, I asked him why they do SSDs equally across people living along the road versus frontage along the road. And he said, SSDs are always done split evenly. He said, we never do it based on frontage. And I think it has to do more with the road is usable by every person that lives there. And so that's why they split equal.
Okay, I've had that excuse before, and I guess my question to that is, isn't everybody that has a driver's license accessible to that road then? I'm just saying.
Right, and I don't know, this was attorney's.
I just had this conversation with my business partner, and he's having a road done by his house, and it's in 2 counties, Matona and Carlos. Theirs was the same way, split equally.
Okay, and they did an SSD as well?
I'm not sure if they did SSD, but it was,
Okay.
every resident was the same.
Okay.
Any other question on that?
That works.
If you don't get your letter, Gary, by the end of the week, just, oh, you're, okay. There you go, okay, I'll give that to her, sure. Thank you. Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome.
Good on that? Moving on to new business then?
Okay, so snow plowing quotes were sent out to 2 different vendors, Herdering and Craig Cheetah, and we received 1 back. So,
Maybe we'll picnic.
See if they cut the goods. See, that's the one.
here's last year's. Yesterday or the day before, when it was so hot, I thought how strange that we're opening up snow plowing quotes or thinking about snow plowing.
Okay.
I guess they had rain up in, or rain, snow up in the mountains in California.
Oh, really?
Did you get a lot of rain yesterday afternoon, Douglas?
In Melrose? Don't think we did. I should have asked my husband.
Yeah, it was just solid red there, with the radar, it was solid red.
Yeah.
They said Freeport, someplace got 4 or 5 inches.
Oh, really? I should ask Gary.
Some guy in Melrose said that he got 3/10 of an inch.
Oh, no, we did.
That's not good at all.
Okay.
We got a little over an inch.
Yeah.
Almost an inch and a half.
On the computer, once I covered it, I thought. I could find it, I'm like, letting.
I have a question, everybody is sitting good, but workers be able to plow the roads this year.
Right now, we're okay, but you never know, that could change. We try our best to keep people, but
You have a backup plan like you did last year, if necessary?
well, I think Craig would help on the Delta Drive, because he goes straight through there. And I guess I haven't talked to him this year, but I think he would help if we got it.
Let's see, yeah.
We've helped him out already in the past too, so have a mutual agreement, I guess, if you want to follow that.
Yeah. Or just, as possible.
I doubt if we're gonna see winter like last winter.
That would be very cool.
Look for a motion to approve,
I'll make that motion to accept Herdery's bid.
I'll second it.
Dale made the motion, Joe second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
So we don't know what the amount is compared to previous years, we don't have any discussions like that, we just, we're true.
Well, we can tell you.
Huh?
What do you wanna know? No, I mean,
Well, I'd like to know what the amount is that we approved this year versus what we approved
last year was 135 an hour.
Okay.
This year is 145. That's it.
And our budget can handle it, is that correct?
Don't have to.
You don't, you don't, what do you mean, you don't have a budget for it?
We don't have budget for it.
Well, then,
That's money.
Yeah, we would get our next, we have our next, money coming in October.
yes.
So we would, that would help, that would give us.
I understand the cash,
Yeah.
I'm talking budget. But
Budget and cash are two different things.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I used to be a vice president of financials in banks, okay, so I understand that part of it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I'd like to know, from a citizen, a resident here, I'd like to know that you guys are sensitive to whatever you budgeted
Yes,
versus what you're spending.
our budget is 385,000. We will be able to cover the costs
For snow plowing?
for maintenance of roads, road and bridge, and snow
Okay.
plowing is part of that.
All right, so there is no
There's no
amount in there.
specific line item
Okay,
for snow plowing.
okay.
It all falls under road and bridge.
And Randy, if you can tell me how much it's gonna snow, we'll hire you for it.
Yeah.
How
If you're that good with
much do I get?
If
How
you're
much
that
do I
good
get?
with figures, Randy, you tell us now.
No, and the other thing I just wanted to share with you, were you the guys that did the plowing last year?
Yep.
Okay, there was one time, there was 2 inches left on Alpine after they plowed. And I asked why. Now, my neighbors, get this, they said, oh, because they went and put some sealants down in cracks that they can't go down to the ground level, the street level of that. That's a bunch of BS, and I don't understand why that happened, and I don't understand why we didn't get all the way down to the pavement.
We try not to scrape it too hard, because we pull and crack going out.
See, that's the point. You won't pull it out, and you shouldn't be able to pull it out. If they did it right, you wouldn't pull it out.
You're an expert in everything. Jesus.
Moving on to item B.
Oh, come on, guys. Be logical, huh? Please be logical.
Who's trying to be logical and who's not?
I am being logical. What I'm asking is very logical.
Moving on,
that
moving
issue.
on, quiet. Moving
That
on.
issue.
Item B.
So I have Summit fire extinguishers that I'm going to be reaching out to, or due, actually overdue, but have them to come out, like, service our fire extinguisher here as well as something personal.
Are you gonna have some, Joel, yourself?
Fire extinguisher.
Let me know when it comes, because I got some.
Okay, it's John Warren.
Let me know, I can bring it away.
Okay.
Financial items.
Okay, we received a special assessment information request from Main Street Title for Edward and Marty Portone, 12281 Alcott Drive, Sauk Center. We also received one from the title team, JBT Company LLC, 251st Avenue, Sauk Center, just the Saddleback Ridge at Folly Lake. And then finally, third one is from Stearns County Abstract entitled for Jody Jordan, 12804 Bayview Drive in Sauk Center. And I responded to all three that there were no levied or pending assessments from Birchdale. Keep going.
Yep.
Next item, we received our notice from the Minnesota Department of Revenue for our 2025 town aid. The amount will be $3,243. Last year, we received $3,478. And then I just got a note there how the town aid is figured. But we get half of it on July 20th and the second half on December 26th. And then last but not least, we received 2 notices from Todd County Planning and Zoning. One was for a Board of Adjustment hearing that was held on August 22nd for Terry Hempelman, Turtle Creek Township, Star Lake, request to decrease their setback from 150 feet to 30 feet for a proposed 60 square foot dwelling addition in natural environmental shoreline zoning. The other one is Taylor Woods 3rd edition. There will be a Todd County Planning and Zoning hearing on Thursday, September 5th for Dennis, Ron, and Kurt Taylor, Section 30, Great Eagle Township, Big Birch Lake, 10763 Angler Trail. A request to create Taylor's Woods 3rd edition, a 3-lot plat in shoreline recreation development zoning.
The one for Hempelman was voted down real fast.
What was that?
The one for Hempelman, the Board of Adjustment meeting where he wanted to go from 150 feet to 30 feet, was voted down very fast.
I got a letter from you, Jackie, for this cannabis, we were supposed to adopt.
Yes,
and I
yeah,
didn't bring it.
yeah, thank you. Okay, that's all right. Actually, we can talk about it. It's not necessarily a conflict, but maybe, I don't know. So that was sent out, that was, first of all, Todd County passed a moratorium on cannabis licensing for businesses, and they can do that until the first of the year. As of the first of the year, either cities, townships, or the county can license cannabis businesses, which includes retail, growers, producers. Right now, the county is trying to gather information from townships and cities in Todd County to find out if they want to do their own licensing of cannabis businesses, or if they would probably delegate their licensing to the county. And it's basically asking what our township thinks we might want to do with that. Or not sure. So it's just an opinion survey,
Oh, okay.
really.
Well, I just looked at it, and I thought, well, I can't answer this for the township, so I
Right.
forgot that. So, what's our opinion?
Multi government.
I second that.
What are you saying? Oh, smoking gun. It's not a cannabis use that they already passed. It's licensing businesses, yeah.
So townships can license,
What?
townships can license cannabis businesses, but we can't license alcohol businesses.
Well, you could end up having a grower
Grower license.
in your township.
Are you gonna?
One's federal, we have a distillery. Yeah, one's state or federal, and the other one's.
Right now, Todd County, with the population, it's just over 25,000. They can have, the county can decide, can do 3, at minimum, they have to allow 3 businesses. That's per the state statute. Each individual township and city, if they choose to do their own, then the county has to say that is included in their licensing. So,
I think we just, I was, my opinion, was leave it to the county.
County.
Put it that way. I attended one of the meetings with the feedlot up there, and Joe gave me some information that he wanted to, and I think Dale and Larry were both there. I requested on Joe's request to them, is looking at getting their animal manure plan, their disease and fly control plan. The Todd counties that state regulated, my feeling is we should get their plan, not the general plan from would the board like to see that? I told them we'd like to have it on file here in case somebody wanted to look at it.
Yes.
So go ahead and request that so that we get all that. Also, Joe brought up lighting, and so did somebody else at the meeting, and they had tabled this till next meeting, but on a previous approval, they made that person put guards on all their lighting to have it directly shine on the ground versus out in the open. So I'm imagining that this is gonna happen on that also. So that's kind of where that went. And then I think well, for me, as living as a resident there, brought up the road, and I think they're gonna look at something either.
Well, I can elaborate on this. So when we met with Lauren today, I had this speech put up, and so I threw it at him, and Larry laughs, and so I said, so as long as we're out here, I'd like to talk to you about 99 dust control. I said, my biggest concern is we have 7 houses in this development, 6 of them are young families. I said, in the evening, this mother's driving home on 99. This road is so dusty. I said, are you guys gonna sit and wait until we get an accident, until someone gets hurt or killed? Well, then he says, well, you know, we had a road counter out here this week, and the traffic has increased on this road. So we are going to be doing dust control on this road.
For them to do dust control, the county has to have 90 vehicles a day, and they are going from 60 last time we had a meter out there to 125.
Something like that.
Yeah. So they're gonna start starting next spring. Next year, they're gonna put down
Dust control.
dust control.
They move them and they get all those tracks back and forth,
And,
all those tracks over the time.
yeah, well, and
I just go to town that day, I just went on that road 17 times.
And quick note, and so then I threw this at him, I said, so what about tarring this road? He said, you know, there's potential. He said, we have, now correct me Larry if I'm wrong, but he said there's some monies available. There's just which roads to get done.
Yeah, they have a
We're
priority.
kind of like the squeaky wheel.
Commissioners put a priority on the roads, who gets
So I
started,
mean,
you know, where they spend their.
just saying.
I asked to have something done on the road as a contingent on giving them the permit, and the director for this project that that's not the road that they are on, so I don't know if we can do that. And my question back to them, if they went from county being inspected to state being inspected, because they've gotten large enough, so why can't we change the rules? Because he just said this is their main thoroughfare to their farmland. I said, I don't know what they're gonna do, I'm gonna attend the next meeting, but I did ask for it to be a condition of their granting their permit that something's taken care of with the road. So I don't know if that'll happen, but I will attend the next meeting and see where you guys got some more information. So I just was giving an update on a meeting that I went to.
And that next meeting will be Thursday, September 5th at 6 o'clock.
Anything else? Look for motion to adjourn. Did I have checks done?
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Arnie made a motion, Larry seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So you think application.
Thank you.
I don't know.